So obviously, everyone knows that nowadays, a lot of people have a really short attention span. And everyone knows that this is a result of most people using their iPhone and social media every day for several hours. But I feel like nobody actually talks about the impact that this has had on both individual people and social life. Now that it's been over a year since I stopped using my iPhone, I can clearly see that I had a short attention span because I was using an iPhone and social media every day. And I can see clearly how this impacted my life and how this is impacting other people's lives. In my opinion, the number one problem with short attention spans that I feel like people don't even realize is that a lot of people nowadays get mad when somebody wants them to focus on something. Nowadays, every young person has at least one friend who is on their phone all day, every day. But when someone tries to show them a video that didn't naturally pop up in their algorithm, they get really annoyed and frustrated. This is because their attention span is so fried that they can't focus on anything outside of their own little world. I think another frequent experience most young people have is they'll text one of their good friends 200 words, which takes about 20 seconds to read, and their friend gets super frustrated that they were expected to spend 20 seconds reading their friend's text. Some people have such a bad attention span that they can't even look at something else on their screen outside of their algorithm. It's really crazy to think that nowadays some people have an attention span so short they can't even spend 20 seconds reading something their friend sent them. But unfortunately, that's a reality now, and I feel like nobody actually talks about that. And I've even seen recently from some of my friends sending it to me that there are people on the internet nowadays who talk about unpaid emotional labor. There are people with attention spans so short that listening to their friend talk about their day at work is considered unpaid emotional labor because having to focus on anything for more than 20 seconds feels like torture to them. And what's so crazy is I know every single person under the age of 30 can immediately think of multiple people they know in their life who get annoyed anytime they have to do anything besides look at their phone. Because some of these people actually can't focus for more than 30 seconds, they're completely detached from reality. And a huge problem with this is that a lot of people nowadays, because of their short attention span, they can't tell the difference between anything. Some people, they're so far gone that to them, everything is slop. Everything is causing them stress. Everything sucks. Some people just cannot tell the difference anymore because they don't have the attention span required to think about their day-to-day life and what is actually causing them stress and what isn't. I feel like the word slop has quickly gone from a totally necessary word that perfectly described a lot of the nonsense going on to one of the most overused words ever. And in my opinion, this is because people are on their phone and social media so much that they just can't tell the difference anymore. There are some people who every single day in the 2020s have used their iPhone for at least 6 hours a day, and in that time, they were specifically scrolling short form algorithms. These people are so overstimulated from watching all of this slop that they just can't tell the difference. They've watched so much slop that they don't even know anymore what isn't slop. They just think everything's slop because they've spent so much time watching slop. And unfortunately, when these people aren't watching slop, they're typically looking at doomer nonsense that is designed just to make them feel hopeless and stressed out. So as a result, unfortunately, a lot of these people are stressed out all the time, but they can't actually figure out what is causing the stress. And they can't figure it out because of their short attention span. There are some people with such a short attention span that they think their family and friends are the source of their stress because they try to make them focus on something for more than 30 seconds. But because these people have such a short attention span, having to focus for that long is a totally overwhelming and stressful experience. But these people also don't have the attention span required to logically think through their daily habits. Of course, it's not their family and friends stressing them out, but because their attention span is so short, they're never going to be able to figure it out. So as a result, these people think that everything in their life is causing them stress, which must be the most overwhelming and terrible feeling in the entire world. And people being stressed out all the time has had an overwhelmingly negative impact on their personal life and on social life as a whole. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people on this planet who, if they did not use their phone every day for the past 10 years, they would have accomplished something incredible that they would be proud of and all of their family and friends would think is super cool. But unfortunately, nowadays, most people don't have the attention span required to start a new hobby. When I used to use my iPhone every day, I absolutely had this problem. Since I stopped using my iPhone, I have been significantly more productive in my free time, and I have significantly more hobbies than I did when I was using my phone and scrolling social media every day. In the span of a year, I went from spending multiple hours a day using my phone, but now I spend hours a day doing stuff I find infinitely more interesting and fulfilling. I now have multiple YouTube channels, and I use Adobe After Effects most days, and sometimes I'm using Logic and FL Studio making beats. One of the main reasons I actually stopped using my phone was when I started making beats, I realized that I was infinitely more productive on my computer making beats, and I felt a whole lot better, and my attention span felt a whole lot longer compared to when I was using my phone. 15 months ago at this time, I didn't have a single YouTube channel. Now, I have 2 YouTube channels, and I've uploaded over 100 videos to YouTube. 15 months ago at this time, I was watching old Call of Duty trick shot videos, and I was thinking to myself, man, I need to download Adobe After Effects and just start doing this. Because I always wanted to do it, and video editing is an extremely valuable skill nowadays. 15 months later, I have a bunch of trick shot videos that I've edited that I really enjoy, and I think the people who have clips in them would also really enjoy them as well. I still look at screens for multiple hours a day, just like I did when I was using my iPhone every day. But I truly believe that if I did not put my iPhone down, I would not have started all of these hobbies. And the number one thing I can say is it's really not about success and making money or praise or anything like that. For me, it's about when I used my iPhone, I was wasting all of this time. I had a horrible attention span. I was super stressed out, and I felt like my life was totally out of my control. But since I ditched my iPhone, all of my brain fog is gone. My attention span is way better, and I feel a sense of fulfillment that I've never felt before in my life. Starting new projects and completing them is a great feeling. Scrolling social media slop and doom culture all day is a horrible feeling. And the second thing I can also say is I feel like most people don't know how productive they can really be. In the span of 15 months, I went from totally wasting all of my free time using my iPhone to taking advantage of all of my free time. And I really think this is because my attention span is so much better now. I'm able to sit here and do stuff like these commentaries, no problem. I used to struggle to just sit in front of my computer and make beats for 10 minutes without getting distracted. But now I can sit here in front of my computer for multiple hours focusing on one task. I never really fully realized how productive I could be when I was locked in like that. And I feel like because of iPhones and short attention spans, most people don't realize how productive they can be, and they don't come anywhere close to maximizing their potential, which is really sad. And what might be even more sad than these people not reaching their full potential is the negative impact short attention spans have had on social life. Nowadays, it seems like a lot of young people are just copy and paste. And the problem with that is that most of these people who are the same, they're the same because they're super boring. Because so many people use their iPhone so much in their free time, they don't have any hobbies. They don't have any interests. They don't have anything interesting to talk about. So unfortunately, everybody just talks about the same nonsense they see on their phone. A lot of people don't really have any hobbies and are not an interesting person themselves. They don't really have any charisma because they don't have the attention span required to be interesting in a conversation. And then they all just regurgitate the same stuff that they see on their phone. And on top of that, most young people are not present in the moment at all. Most people, when they're in a group social setting, they're not actually thinking about what's going on around them. They're thinking about taking a picture for Instagram. And I think this is definitely the result of a short attention span. When these people are out in the world, they don't have the attention span required to think about what's going on around them. So they just think about their phone and social media. There's also a huge problem where people just pull out their phone and start recording people unprompted, and they think it's totally acceptable. A lot of young people have no interest in being around cell phone NPCs who are recording everyone all the time to post them on social media. The phone is a huge barrier to connection because most people don't have the attention span required to put down their phone for a long period of time. And unfortunately, a huge problem people run into is that they can't really build meaningful relationships because a lot of people, their loyalty is to their phone. I feel like the number one place this is a problem for young people is at college. There are young people so addicted to their phone and so obsessed with doing everything their phone tells them to do that it blocks them from forming meaningful relationships. Unfortunately, some people who are addicted to social media, when they go to college, they see everyone around them as a talking point for text messages and social media posts, as opposed to an actual friend who they are building a real relationship with. And I mean, honestly, that's so messed up. It's really destroying social life for young people, and I feel like no one is talking about how this is just having an overwhelmingly negative impact. As long as young people choose their iPhone as their main priority, unfortunately, I don't see a situation where social life improves. People need to have better attention spans in order for social life to improve, but that's not going to happen if people don't put their phone down. I feel like everyone just says, yeah, we have short attention spans now, but no one talks about the impact. And what's funny is the main reason most people don't talk about the impact of short attention spans is because most people don't have the attention span required to hold a real conversation about it. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. This has been Weedified. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all next video.